In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome to the...
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
We're listening live to the Vito and Vito Show. Disrespectful to the executive branch.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
Don't sign the damn deal, and the president won't.
Therefore, I do not believe that the majority can vote a man's life or property or freedom away from him.
And we're live here on the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
And I'm Vito.
You're listening to the Vito and Vito Show live from the basement of the Empire State Building, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a follow, a look. Go to our website, www.vitoandvito.com for network listings. Give us a follow, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Vito and Vito Show. And allow me to let my co-host explain just what you're listening to.
Bringing you the perspectives of two college-age millennial conservative libertarians at a liberal hellhole, Brooklyn, New York. We're committed to defending the principles of free markets, freedom, liberty, and individualism. We hold no punches here on the show.
That's right, we're not communist. As you can see, we got a little something for everybody here on this program. And being that we're college-age adults,
or just overgrown buffoons,
we're going to let ourselves have just a little bit of fun.
That means sex jokes.
That's right, lots and lots of sex jokes, because here on the show, we hold no bars. Vito, caught in the Ashley Madison sex scandal, him, Josh Duggar, together, corresponding emails.
Yeah, you see, this is not a show about political correctness. So Donald Trump will have a ball on this show.
This is it. If you're looking for political correctness, you come to the wrong place. You're not going to find it here on the Vito and Vito Show, because we're all about bringing you the truth out of Brooklyn. We're here to bring you conservatism, libertarianism, objectivism, And we are going to quote a little Atlas Shrugged and even some Playboy.
That's right. So head over to VitoandVito.com for news, information, the network listings, articles, and the free T-shirts we've been giving away.
That's right, giving free T-shirts in conjunction with Less Government, More Fun. Go over to www.vitoandvito.com because in Brooklyn,
it's nothing but the truth.
We're giving away free T-shirts. Go ahead and enter your email address in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. You'll see where it says subscribe to Vito and Vito. Type in your email address in conjunction with Less Government, More Fun. LessGovMoreFun.com is the website. They're all over the place. They're great people. We love them. Go ahead and sign up for your free T-shirt. Again, www.vitoandvito.com. Vito, what's on the agenda for tonight?
You know what today is?
What?
It's a few things. It's Robert Plant's birthday.
Hey! Lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
And one of my favorite bands.
Ow, ow, ow.
Please don't moan. That's Robert Plant.
That's my best Robert Plant.
Just moaning. Great.
Whoa.
Also,
a whole lot of love. No? I think we just got sued for copyright, but go ahead, let's see what we got
here. Also, 50 years to the date that Satisfaction was released.
Hey, by the Rolling Stones.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep, they actually, to celebrate, because they know I'm the biggest fan, they sent me a free vinyl.
They did?
Of Satisfaction.
Really?
Yeah, so free stuff is being
But
given
you never
everywhere.
got it, because you can't get no. Thank you.
You're good.
I know.
You're good.
I know. And you know, today is
National Radio Day.
That's right. You were telling me just before the show started.
Yep.
And I want to wish all our fellow radio hosts out there happy Radio Day. If you're on television and you're listening to us, I don't give a damn about you because it's not your day today.
No, it's
Radio
National
Radio Day.
It's our day. So you're going to go listen to us because it's National Radio Day.
That's right. Tell the good people at home, Vito, just what we're talking about here tonight.
The Donald.
Oh, boy.
The Donald.
Oh, boy.
And immigration.
All right. Well, you know, he just came out with his big immigration plan.
That's why we're talking about it.
And, and I mean, it's like, this is like every conservative's wet dream. This is the plan that you want if you're a conservative and you hate illegal immigrants in this country. This is the plan. So we're going to break it down for you. We also got a little bit on the Iran deal. Yep. Breaking news coming out of this deal this past week. And some crazy organizing by American rabbis. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, it's so ridiculous. I mean, I'm speechless.
Because, you know, because what we're talking about is you can go to www.vitoandvito.com to check out the article. Mm-hmm. There's an article on there that I wrote that is over 300 American rabbis. Over 300 American rabbis. Banding together and basically pleading with Congress, the members of Congress, to vote yes, on the Iran deal. I mean, these rabbis are smoking something. They've been drinking way too much of that Jewish wine. They've been eating too much matzah. They're too. I'm telling you, over 300 American rabbis banding together. They're all anti-Zionist, by the way. The picture's up on VitoandVito.com, and you can take a look at what I'm talking about. And it's unbelievable, absolutely stunning. If you are an American, if you have common sense, if you like life, I mean, this is the scariest thing, in my opinion, to see these over 300 American rabbis running to the to their members of Congress, asking them to pass a bill that is as destructive as this Iran bill. That this bill is going to start World War III. Mark my words. It's gonna start World War III, and I'm telling you right now, the fact that it also funds terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas. Oh my God, I can't believe they can't see the truth here. I mean, it's unbelievable. But Vito, we also got something else, and a pretty big story too. Not a lot of people talking about it, but it's definitely something that I think attention needs to be driven towards.
Mm-hmm. Scott Walker.
Yeah.
Can you believe he's still funding Planned Parenthood?
I heard. Breitbart article says that about $15 to $16 million a year going to Planned Parenthood. Here's a guy running on an anti-Planned Parenthood platform. I think he gave a very strong position on abortion, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice. If you're looking at Scott Walker and you think he's the principled man, we're going to have to talk about this issue in its entirety.
Did he stop funding it?
I think he did, yeah.
Caught him in a lie. I mean, his whole thing during the debate was how pro-life he is. Like, even in the case of rape. And
exactly. He took a very strong position on immigration, and the fact is this guy is not upholding what he believes in. If he believes in it at all. I don't know. We're going to talk about that a lot more later on in the program.
And we got some pretty good forget-abouts later.
Oh, I can't wait.
I enjoyed these.
I can't. I'm going to guess, is Hillary on the list?
Who?
Hillary?
Who?
Hillary?
Who?
We can find no records of a woman named Hillary.
No, I have no
Clinton.
emails. I don't know who she is.
I don't know what's more harder to find. Hillary Clinton's missing emails, or Vito's love life. I mean, it's really hard. It's tough here.
That hurt.
Come on, smile and laugh a little bit. You know what's really gonna hurt? When the power of America comes crashing down on illegal immigration if Donald Trump becomes president of the United States. Vito, break down Donald Trump's immigration plan. I mean, listen, I've said I can't go any further on this. Go ahead, Vito, break down this immigration plan.
Okay. He released a 6-page immigration battle plan. Right? This is what he wants to do. He wants to...
So wait. He called it a battle plan?
That's what I'm going.
Okay. We're gonna make him a graphic next week. Bum, bum, bum.
I mean, he's going to be on the front page of Time magazine.
He is.
Yeah.
You see the pictures floating around Facebook, by the way, of him and
an eagle?
Yeah. And he has like a video on Instagram. He's like, hey, this is me, Donald Trump, if you didn't know, and I'm sitting here in my office. I love Time magazine, and look at this beautiful bald eagle. And it just cuts away. And I'm like, I can't do this. This man is running for the highest office in the world.
Wow. So he wants to, this is what his plan for the illegal
battle plan.
Right? He wants to declare war on Mexico. No, I'm kidding. No. Actually, I want to put it past him. But he wants to, first off, build a wall.
Okay.
But not only build a giant wall, it's a great, big, great wall. Okay? But he wants to make Mexico pay for it. Now, you read his book, The Art of the Deal, right?
Right.
Now, I know he's pretty good at negotiating. He made billions. But I don't know if you can convince Mexico to pay for a wall.
He's not going to convince them. What he's going to do is he seeks, and he said this in other interviews in the past, he said he seeks to use tariffs, and he seeks to use, in a way, protectionist trade policies in order to get Mexico to fund, like he would tax Mexico on imported goods and stuff like that, to get them to have money from the Mexican government.
Now, do you think that's right?
Rerouted to build a wall.
Do you think that's right?
Do I think it's right? Look, I mean, if you support free trade, you can't really be in favor of higher tariffs. And he claims to support free trade, so I know a lot of libertarians have an issue with that.
He just wants to force them to pay for it. I mean, it's our border. I mean, like, we should close our back door.
I don't know. Listen, Vito, on the other hand, we're talking about Donald Trump here. I think he can get this done because it's Donald Trump. But, I mean, when you take it to another extreme, we could save a couple of pennies here and a couple of dollars there.
Really?
Screw it. Just invade Mexico. Look, this is just
force them. Like, we're not going to trade with you unless you close your border.
Look, honestly,
now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I read an article in passing.
You read?
That certain near the border in Mexico, certain places are going to start charging people to come over the border.
Really?
Mexico. That Mexico is going to start charging or start really enforcing the border control. But now, if Mexico can do that, why don't we?
Well, Mexico does do that, actually. Mexico sits there, and if you are an illegal immigrant, you get deported right away. There is no talk of amnesty. There is no talk of a pathway to citizenship. There is no sanctuary city for you in Mexico. You're taken by your cojones, if I may say, and you're deported out of that country. You don't stay there. You do not become a Mexican citizen if you go into Mexico illegally. But for whatever reason, 11 million, 12 million, 30 million, or 100 million illegal immigrants can hop over our border between Mexico and the United States, and we're having a full-on conversation about letting these people stay and become citizens of this country. So you have to ask yourself, does citizenship hold the price? What does it mean to have laws? And is it fair to the immigrants that already came here legally, undergoing a ridiculous process that makes it incredibly hard for people to come here on the legal side, while the illegal immigrants get full-on amnesty, if that's the talk between Jeb Bush and God knows what Democrat wants to take the White House next. So, I mean, when you take a look at it, does Donald Trump's plan really... Is it crazy? I don't think so. But here comes the real controversial part of his plan. Closing the border isn't that big of a deal. I think everyone can agree on that. The most controversial part of his immigration plan, Vito, is ending birthright citizenship. Now, people who've read the Constitution have said in the past, I certainly heard it in my liberal college classrooms by liberal professors, teachers, high school students, whatever, when I was in high school. Until I dropped out. No, I'm joking. I graduated. But you heard people say that the 14th Amendment gives you, if you're born in this country, no matter who you are, where you're from, whatever the case may be, if you're born in this country, under the 14th Amendment, you get full citizenship, full American citizenship. And there seems to be a problem now because Donald Trump is bringing up a very important issue that we are not touching on.
Donald Trump has brought this up, and even Ted Cruz has come out and support it. I personally support this. There's an amendment to the Constitution that changes that around. Because that is the big problem, and Donald Trump got into a little heat with some reporters today for calling them anchor babies. Right?
Yeah.
I think a reporter called out and said, that's not politically correct. Like, you're going to tell Donald Trump that's not politically correct?
I mean, you sort of just giving the man fire right there.
Please, he loves this. This is basically what he's running on so far, is immigration and political correctness. Like, you can say what he wants. You can call anchor babies. So you keep using the word anchor babies. And, like, Trump, Cruz, even Rubio, and even Jeb Bush and other candidates have come out saying that they have issues with the birthright clause in the 14th Amendment. They think there should be amendments to the Constitution. There should be something done about this. But I fully support Ted Cruz in this.
Well, let's go through this position, okay? Because I also take the position that birthright citizenship has to go. Because we're one of the only countries in the world, if not maybe us and like 2 other countries, like very small number of people in the world, countries in the world, have birthright citizenship. So it's completely ridiculous anyway. But let's go through the Constitution as constitutional, quote, scholars that we claim to be. And let's go ahead and break
like
this
Obama.
down. The 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Let me repeat that. So right off the bat, you think that, okay, that makes sense. All persons born in the U.S. and subject, are citizens of the United States. It seems straightforward. Let's break it down. Again, all persons born or naturalized in the United States, here's the kicker, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Now, if you take a look at when the amendment was ratified, which was in 1868, you see that very, very, very important specific line in that amendment, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, is one of the main points of the 14th Amendment in terms of the citizenship clause. Vito, who determines citizenship in this country? Is it the Constitution or is it the Congress?
Constitution.
The Congress. This is a specific clause in the Constitution that deals with a very specific set of circumstances.
Yeah, who was born in the United States.
Not necessarily true. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Meaning your parents have to be, and this is what it meant by that claim back in the day, when they ratified this amendment, was that your parents had to be born here, and then if you were born here, you were given citizenship. Because they were afraid of foreign entanglements with other nations. Let's also remember, if we're going to keep an originalist perspective on the Constitution, remember, as conservatives, we like to argue the Constitution, so we're going to sit here and we're going to say, hey, wait a second. The 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause doesn't apply to gays because it only applied to blacks, newly freed blacks back in the day, newly freed slaves back in the day. So doesn't this specific clause also, and this specific amendment also refer to newly freed slaves and blacks when it was ratified in 1868? Yes. You have to be consistent with what these amendments were for. When these amendments were ratified and passed, they were not passed under the guise of gay marriage, gay rights, immigration rights. They're called the Slavery Amendments, the Reconstruction Amendments, for a specific reason. And I'm pulling my arguments out of a Breitbart article. I'm pulling them out of the Constitution itself. I'm pulling them out of the New American, the American Thinker, excuse me. And what you see is a very, very, very concise answer as to what this whole birthright citizenship thing is about. To claim that this specific amendment to the Constitution protects illegal immigrants and anchor babies is completely wrong. Because it doesn't. Anchor babies do not have citizenship under the Constitution. They do not. And as much as the liberal media is going to tell you that they do, and as much as Time Magazine or the New York Times or whatever Time is out there claims to differ, tell them to go back and read a history book and take a look at what the Constitution actually stands for, because it's a very important issue that we don't talk about. It gets away with murder here. It's not fair.
So the line says, and subject to jurisdiction thereof.
Right.
What does that mean?
Well, that means, again, that you have to be born, your parents have to be born here. And then if you were born here, you get citizenship. Because it's also a specific, those specific legislative actions are also undertaken by the Congress. The Congress also defines citizenship. Because if this was also a literally followed amendment, there were also 3 exceptions to that specific amendment, passed by the Congress into law. You don't really need a constitutional amendment to change this issue. You just need a law passed by Congress. Which is why Donald Trump's plan isn't so radical. Because if you put Republicans in the House, or at least a good amount of conservatives that we have already, and a couple of more conservatives in the Senate, not fake Republicans, conservatives, and a conservative, or Donald Trump, whatever you want to call him, in the White House, this issue of anchor babies can be taken out, no problem, no questions asked. It would not be a problem. This issue of immigration and anchor babies is dealt with, honestly, by the Congress. It's not a crazy position to take. It's a position that's been talked about before, but because the liberal media doesn't want to talk about these problems with our Constitution, they're going to completely reroute the issue. And I'm telling you, Vito, when you look at Donald Trump's plan, is it as crazy as people are making it out to be? I don't know. Honestly, I do not know. I think the man is making some action. Honestly, I think I'm going to take a step back and say maybe Trump is making a good point. Maybe I've been trumped. Not saying I support him, but I'm just saying here's a position that honestly is coherent with the Constitution. Listen, we're going to break. When we return here to the Vito and Vito Show, a little bit more about Donald Trump. We're going to talk about Planned Parenthood and, I don't know, some more stuff. When we return here to the Vito and Vito.
Yes.
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
And we're back here on the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. And do us a favor. If you like anchor babies, we're giving them away at www.vitoandvito.com. No, I'm joking. We're giving away free t-shirts. That's right. Not politically correct here on the show. We're giving away free t-shirts in conjunction with Less Government, More Fun. Again, Less Government, More Fun t-shirts. That's right. Over at www.vitoandvito.com. Enter in your email address for a chance to win. We already mailed out a couple. We're happy to give them away. We got some more to give away. Just a few more. So go ahead and sign up before they all run out at www.vitoandvito.com. Again, the Vito and Vito Show. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Vito and Vito Show. Vito, we're talking about Donald Trump's immigration plan.
That's right. We're just talking about birthright citizenship.
That's
and
right.
how the 14th Amendment applies, or it does not apply.
Mm-hmm.
And Ted Cruz wanted an amendment.
Right.
But we were talking about that.
Well, there's a specific look. I want to break this down. I'm going to quote a Breitbart article here. And I want you to listen to it and check it out. We're going to link this up on our website again at vitoandvito.com. So, here we go. Quote, so why is a child born on American soil to foreign parents and an American citizen by birth? Why is a child born on American soil to foreign parents and American citizen by birth? Because the 14th Amendment citizenship clause is a floor, not a ceiling. What does that mean? Watch this. Under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the Constitution, Congress has absolute power to make laws for immigration and for granting citizenship to foreigners. Congress's current immigration law is far more generous than the Constitution requires. Congress can expand it to grant citizenship to every human being on earth or narrow it to its constitutional minimum. That's directly from a Breitbart article.
Mm-hmm.
The Congress has the power under the Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1952, which has been amended over the years, to define what is citizenship. Who gets citizenship? And frankly, a baby born on American soil to a foreign ambassador, head of state, foreign military power is not an American citizen. Those are the exceptions to the rule of children born in this country who do not get citizenship. A foreign ambassador, a head of state, or a foreign military prisoner is not an American citizen. So if they were born here in this country, they do not get citizenship. That is a complete... Those are exceptions. Excuse me. Those are exceptions to the 14th Amendment. They're not subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be subject to the jurisdiction thereof means to be defined by the Congress. That is all that this Constitution is saying, and it is not a crazy position to take. It is a position which liberals have completely overlooked.
Misinterpreted, and
have completely circumvented in order to fit their agenda. This is not a crazy position. Donald Trump is talking about an issue that nobody wants to talk about.
Yep.
Ted Cruz coming out talking about how he wants to end birthright citizenship. Talking about how anchor babies present a problem in this country. And you know what, Vito? They're not 100%... They're not wrong at all, if anything. They're 100% right. This is a completely new election cycle because this is going to determine a constitutional issue. These only come around every once in a while, whether it be prohibition, the income tax, the Federal Reserve, all these things. This is going to define the way our country is working and who gets certain things in this country. What does it mean to be a citizen of the United States? It doesn't mean that you get to walk around in this country and claim I'm a citizen for the sake of your own sake. Doesn't mean you could whim yourself into citizenship. No, citizenship in this country means you are protected by the rules and the governing bodies and the police and the military and all these wonderful things this country has to offer. The preservation of life, liberty, and property and your natural rights. That's the protection of citizenship. That's what it offers you. It's not offered to everyone around the world. We're not protecting Osama bin Laden. We're not protecting illegal immigrants. Although we are right now, but we shouldn't be. Because we should be protecting the American taxpayer. We should be protecting the American who is a citizen of this country.
Now, when Ted Cruz says he wants an amendment, is this to clarify, to
Well, yeah, I mean, there are different positions that you can take. So Cruz wants to take that position.
Right, because the 14th Amendment is so misinterpreted by the liberal agenda.
Right.
So often. We saw this with the last couple Supreme Court cases. Would a constitutional amendment fix that?
Well, I think maybe to give it back into the Supreme Court. Because it can be, the Supreme Court reinterprets the Constitution every day. Depending on what, how Ruth Bader Ginsburg wiped her behind. So it changes by every whim. We don't know what it is about this Supreme Court that's going to define the Constitution. So let's not get caught up in this issue. I mean, look, Donald Trump, is it going to pass? I don't know, but it gives some backing to what he's talking about. And if you look at this in an objective way, if you look at it in a fair, open-minded way, you see that conservatives on this issue are not wrong. Now, Donald Trump's position isn't Trump's position, but rather it is a consistent position with the Constitution, something that I did not expect from this man, because I never heard him utter the words Constitution. It's always about him, America, great again, bald eagle, and his company is rich. Never Constitution, but I think you sort of just shut me up with this, and I'm sort of proud to see this by a man like that.
No, I mean, he definitely knows what he's talking about. He's showed it here that he wants to triple the number of border officers, stop birthright citizenship, deport people who overstay their visas, and make it harder for asylum seekers and refugees to get into the country.
Right.
And, of course, the beautiful build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. But, he was even talking about how allowing American countries, by raising the prevailing wage paid to the H-1Bs, so I'm reading here, it'll allow, force American companies to hire American workers before illegal immigrants.
Right.
So all these ideas, these make sense and they can work. You don't run into the constitutional issue that we just spoke about, the 14th Amendment. So these are opportunities that other candidates and that Trump makes sense that we can easily enact.
Powerful positions by a man who is rich. Got to give it to Donald Trump. He's got a powerful position. Who knows? Who knew that he could stand like this? Listen, Vito. For more information, again, go to www.vitoandvito.com. Check out that Breitbart article. It really is a great article that really breaks down the idea of birthright citizenship, and it's an issue that is in contention in legal circles about the Constitution. So I gotta give it to Donald Trump. He's doing a great job, I think, pushing out this issue, and I give him props on that. And of course, I stand with Ted Cruz. He's been a great fighter against birthright citizenship since the first time he got into the Senate. So good for him. Way to hit home. Listen, Vito, our next issue I want to talk about. This is an interesting issue to talk about. This Iranian deal. This is some scary stuff.
Everyone I spoke to about the Iran deal, they go, but we can inspect.
Okay, who's we?
The United States. The United States can inspect.
Okay.
We go in and inspect and make sure they're not building any nuclear weapons.
This is what MSNBC is touting, by the way. They're like, hey, what's the big deal with this deal? We can go in. We can look, finally.
But wait for it.
What happened now?
Another deal. It shows Iran can inspect themselves.
Really?
Iran can inspect their own nuclear weapons. They can check themselves.
You can check. Iran checks it itself?
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
Does that make any sense at all?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing because, again...
We give them all the power.
This goes back to this issue again of arguing from positions of strength. What position are we arguing from in this country?
Absolute weakness.
Absolute weakness. When I guess you could say Trump, when he talks about this terrible Iran deal, he's got a point. It's a pretty bad Iran deal.
Oh, it's laughable.
It is. We are arguing from such a position of weakness right now. We are saying to the people, hey, guess what? Do you support this notion, this idea, that the United States is going to go in and stop this terrible regime and restore order in the world? That idea is out the window with the Obama administration. They're not looking to preserve liberty. They're not looking to strengthen it. But what they're looking to do is just sort of give in to their enemies for fear of actually facing the bad guy. And it's a terrible strategy to take. Look, when you take a look at what this Iran deal has done, you're giving billions of dollars to terrorist organizations. You're funneling and you're helping and strengthening a regime in the Middle East that is absolutely destructive to your way of life.
Right, Iran who supports Hezbollah, Hamas.
Right.
Death to America.
Right. Where the annihilation of Israel off the map was non-negotiable on the Iranian side.
And John Kerry even said that we cannot trust them. The United States cannot trust Iran.
If this is your logic going forward, why would you put a provision in this agreement that would have the Iranians themselves inspect nuclear sites and report like it's a damn high school class, report to the United States saying to them that we don't have nuclear weapons? Vito, I remember when we tried this plan a couple of years ago. I remember when we sat there with the Iranian people, or the Iraqis, excuse me, and we thought they had weapons of mass destruction, and what exactly happened? What happened when we sent in UN weapons inspectors, when Saddam said he'll check it himself, when the Saudis did nothing? What happened in this situation, Vito? What happened?
When we went in.
We had to go in. And then we got the riffraff and we found out there were no weapons of mass destruction, or at least they'd been moved, or whatever the case may be. But the point being, when you look back on the errors of history, the fact that the Obama administration is not willing to open up a history textbook is bizarre, in my opinion.
Same thing with North Korea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What you're doing, and I don't mean to say go in and bomb everybody, but the point is you cannot strengthen and embolden these regimes, whether it be Cuba, trading with them and giving them bundles of money and access to our economy, whether it be sending billions in a ridiculous trade agreement over to Iran, whether it be leaving North Korea alone to blow things up, whatever the case may be, you're just strengthening these terrible regimes around the world. And the fact that the Obama administration doesn't want to do nothing about it is even more frightening, because that shows me that nobody has my back. Nobody has my back. Is that fair? That's not fair at all. Because this government's got one job, that's to protect my life, liberty, and my property. And the fact that you got illegal immigrants coming in here taking my jobs, that's right, my jobs. When you have people coming in here seeking to do harm to this country, when you have an overbloated welfare state and you have a ridiculous social justice agenda, where Black Lives Matter is more important than babies getting chopped up at a Planned Parenthood clinic, like a butcher shop, then this country's got a problem. And frankly, nobody wants to address these issues. Nobody wants to look at the Obama administration and hold them accountable.
It's such a backwards country.
It is, and the fact is that nobody's willing to challenge this issue, including 300 American rabbis that have come forward and have demanded that their members of Congress support this Iran deal, is even more bizarre. Go to VitoandVito.com. Check out the article that was just on there. Over 300 American rabbis urging and pressuring their members of Congress to get together and vote yes on the Iran deal.
And more Democratic senators did come out to support it, but the Jewish New York senator, Chuck Schumer,
Chuck Schmuck, Chuck the Schmuck. That's his name. Chuck the Schmuck. Tweet that out. Chuck the Schmuck.
But he's voting against it. Against the Iran deal, yes.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to see if Chuck Schumer is
But this is a political move.
Exactly, because I want to see if this man is really against the Iran deal. I want to see Chuck the Schmuck get up and actually fight and corral other Democrats, twist some arms, break some legs, spat some heads.
This is what people are saying because
get them to vote no on that deal.
He's on road to be the next minority leader in the Senate after one-eyed Harry over there. So he definitely he can pull, he can lobby, he can whip these votes.
He's been known.
But he's not.
He's not. Because
so he's just playing the safe political role and just saying, I'm going to vote against it so the Jewish constituents in New York can re-elect him so he can be the next minority leader.
Exactly.
Boom.
Political corruption at its finest. And it's not illegal. That's the scariest part. And I don't mean to say we should pass a bunch of laws now throwing members of Congress in jail, although that wouldn't be that crazy of an idea.
Just maybe wake people up and say, maybe this guy is doing something political and not really, maybe does support it.
But the fact is, nobody is willing to sit here and actually call these people out. Chuck Schumer is walking around and is touting himself as an anti-Iran deal waving Democrat who's defying the political establishment in Washington.
Right, just because he votes against it, he can go back to his constituents and say, look what I did, I support you, so you can get the votes. But while he knows that most other Democrats are going to vote in favor of it, so even if he still wants it, it's going to get passed. Because he's not trying to whip or lobby any votes.
Because the Obama administration is telling him it's okay.
So he can get his cake and eat it too.
It's unbelievable. And he's in the minority. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party in the minority in both effing houses. Yeah. And we can't even defund Planned Parenthood, and the minority party is corralling and whipping more votes and getting things done at a better rate than the Republicans who control both the House and the Senate. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What the hell does that tell you about the direction of this country? It's over. Because when Democrats can sit in the Senate and in the House and pass things in conjunction with wannabe Republicans and get it signed off by liberal President Barack Obama, I mean, who's there to stop it?
And you look at the leadership.
The leadership is in cahoots with Democratic
because
establishment
what is the
politicians.
difference between Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell?
There is none.
One eye.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's it.
But it's good. Nobody there to fight it. And then, people claim that the Tea Party is dead. I think it was Juan Williams who said today.
Juan Williams came out and said, 2016, the end of the Tea Party era. I said, no, 2016, we're going to see a Tea Party president. Starting from 2010, working their way to the presidency.
I'm telling you, I mean, when you take a look at the fact that people are really getting pissed off, and the fact that people like Donald Trump is leading in the polls, it goes to show you that people are mad. They're pissed off at this country because of a lot of the problems going on, and we just identified a lot of them.
Not only is Donald Trump leading the polls, you know who polled pretty well?
Who?
You want to forget about it?
Who?
We'll get to it from
Oh, that's right. Forget about the moments of the week and Twitter fan when we return here to the Vito and Vito Show.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. Separated. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org, brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
Guess who?
And we're back here to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com, for more information on network listings, past articles, and past episodes. We're having a little technical issues on our website in terms of our past episodes, but it'll get fixed for you. We're transitioning over to a no program. It's going to be great. All the great old classics. Vito and Vito's greatest hits. Going up in just a little bit. Should be resolved in a couple of days. But again, over at www.vitoandvito.com for our newest articles, past episodes, and network listings. Yes, we're on several different online stations and an AM station. You can go ahead and find that way you can listen to us. Again, at www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. And I gotta plug them because they're great. A special, awesome company or group or activist, I don't know what to call them, but they got these great t-shirts. And it says, less government, more fun on them.
Oh, I think you're talking about Playboy.
You're an idiot.
I have their shirts too.
You're a moron.
I was thinking.
You get shirts from Playboy? You're the only guy I know that
the
goes
money.
to Playboy and gets the shirts.
Mm-hmm. You get the tail and everything, too.
Playboys are not supposed to wear shirts, my friend.
Oh, my God. I need a new Halloween costume, though.
You got these special shirts, less government, more fun, at www.vitoandvito.com. All you got to do is subscribe to our website. All you got to do is go to the website, subscribe, enter in your email address at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Type in your email. It could be a fake email. Just type it in. All right, we're going to identify it, but you type in your email. One email for a chance to win a free T-shirt. We're going to email you. We already gave out a bunch of shirts already. It's been a lot of fun. Great feedback. Pictures coming soon. It's going to be great. And you have a chance to win one, too, because Less Government, More Fun is a great, great organization dedicated to having less government and more fun. The website, lessgovmorefun.com for more information. And for your chance to win a free Less Government, More Fun t-shirt, head over to www.vitoandvito.com, enter in your email address, and pray to God that you get a free t-shirt. Again, www.vitoandvito.com. I'm going to plug it as much as I can because we want you to get a free t-shirt. All you got to do is throw your email address in there, take a look at our website, and you have a chance to win a free t-shirt.
And they come in different colors.
They do?
Yeah. You've seen them.
What colors are they coming now?
Well, look, this
like
one
rainbow colors.
Yes, rainbow.
Yay.
Everything you want. Yeah, you can go fashionista with them and
that's great.
Fashion out.
That's it. Go walk the runway.
Less Government, More Fun.
Less Government, More Fun. Great organization.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz actually saw this shirt and was like, "Hey, that's the slogan to fight the good fight." Boom. You want that across your chest, right? I certainly do. All right, Less Government, More Fun at VitoandVito.com. Vito, it's that time of the week again. Vito, it's that time of the week again.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Paul, forget about it.
Forget about it, moments of the week here on the Vito and Vito Show, when we break down some of the craziest moments in the world and we say to my God, oh, Jesus. That really happened? And Vito's like, yeah, forget about it. That really happened. Vito, break down some of the craziest moments that ever happened in our lives in this past week. Starting with number one.
Hillary Clinton was asked...
Here's a forget about it moment in and of itself. Hillary Clinton. Next.
Hillary Clinton was asked, why did you turn over the servers like wipe clean? And her response is, what do you mean by wipe? Like with a towel? Like a cloth? Like did I clean it? Really?
She's a moron.
Really?
I don't like her, Vito.
Really?
Oh, I'm starting to twitch again. I don't like her. Look, when I look at Hillary Clinton...
Did you take your medication?
No, I just look at this woman who's absolutely, freaky, deaky. I don't like her at all. I cannot take her. She's so full of corruption. She oozes Washington establishment. And I swear, I could see her going home at night, taking off her hair.
She's a man, baby.
Yeah, taking off her skin and like hair, like a Wolverine, claws come out.
Jesus,
I can see her
Vito?
yeah. She's not a woman. She's not a person. She's not a human.
So
she's Bigfoot. That's what she is.
Hildebeest.
Hildebeest Clinton running for president 2016.
Jesus.
That's right. What's that second forget about it moment of the week?
United States authorities, they found a man smuggling drugs in from Mexico.
Aha! Trump is right. Next.
But they found an underwater tunnel. I mean, that was getting ridiculous, guys.
They found it right, so the wall at this point is not going to do anything.
Yeah, the wall's not going to help. There's a freaking underground water tunnel. That man the Mexican scuba dive in this tunnel and smuggled drugs.
Damn.
Yeah, you know what they can just walk over the border. I mean, you can just walk over it. Somebody's like, no, they definitely have a wall. I'm going to make an underground tunnel. No, guy, really, it's easy. You can just walk over the border.
Yeah.
They even give you, free healthcare and stuff. Let's go.
You think they pay for your college if you have your children here. It's fantastic.
You can just walk over. So,
yeah.
I'm going to take the safe route and go underwater. They're coming from every angle.
Oh, my God. There's an underwater tunnel.
I can't wait for Trump to think of something for this one.
I don't know. They have, booby traps on the ground and under the water.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, my God. You know how you solve the whole drug issue in this country? And as a libertarian, I know how to solve this. As a conservatarian or as an objectivist, whatever you want to call me. I prefer objectivist. Legalize drugs. Wipes out the entire drug trade tomorrow. We'll have head shops opening up. Vito will never do the show again. We're going to get stoned and have a lot of fun. But I'm telling you, you won't have this problem with Mexican drug cartels smuggling in drugs because it'll be openly sold on the free market. You would stop all this problem, I'm telling you.
All the scuba diving.
You shut down the underwater scuba diving drug trade. I can't believe this is happening. It's like a scene out of Mission Impossible. All right, Vito, what's our last Forget About It moment of the week?
Do you know who's polling 9% for the presidency?
Who?
These nuts. Yep.
Seriously, what's the Forget About It moment of the week?
These nuts.
Yeah, I know you have a story for this, so you might as well break it down.
No.
There's no story?
Just want to say these nuts.
No, come on, seriously. I see stuff there. You gotta have something.
In a new poll, yes, there's a lot of writings. A new poll against Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, who would be the president, 9% goes to these nuts.
Are you serious?
These nuts.
Oh my god.
Yep. So people, 9% of people want these nuts. I mean, it's fake. Because
Who is it?
It's a 15-year-old from Iowa.
Get out of here.
This kid just bored on the internet.
You know what? He's polling 9%. How does that even make the poll? That's what I'm surprised at. How does that even make the damn poll?
There's some write-in campaign.
Oh my god.
We should take hints from him.
Yep,
tips.
A presidential sensation. These nuts is a 15-year-old Iowa farm boy. See, this is why we don't grow up on farms. This is why we're city boys, Vito.
Really?
Because we got no time for the farm. Because if we were living on a farm, instead of milking cows, we'd be playing with these nuts. Vito, let's go ahead and break down our Twitter fan of the week. It's that time, Vito. Who do we have for Twitter fan?
Sharon Andreas.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, at Charneal.
At Charneal?
Yes, Sharneal.
Hey, congratulations at Charneal.
Charneal. Sharon!
All right. You're our Twitter fan of the week, and we want to thank you for being a good, loyal fan of the Vito and Vito Show. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at Vito and Vito Show, like us on Facebook and Instagram at Vito and Vito Show. Check out some naked photos at www.vitoandvito.com. Vito, serious conversation right now. Here's a follow-up. $15 to $16 million being funding Planned Parenthood up in Wisconsin. $15 to $16 million still going to Planned Parenthood up in Wisconsin after a certain governor said to the people on national television or national debate stage that he does not support Planned Parenthood or what it does.
He said he defunded it.
Well, that's not true.
Did he say like he did before it was cool?
I don't know what was going on there. But someone's lying. Governor Scott Walker, Breitbart article out and about showing that $15 to $16 million still going to Planned Parenthood over in Wisconsin. Wow. Unbelievable. Now, the article it's a part of a bigger article that says the Obama administration is, doing terrible, unconstitutional, illegal things in order to get what they want, bullying over states in order to grow the federal government. They're saying if they don't, states that threaten to defund Planned Parenthood, they risk losing their Medicaid funding. So, President Obama playing with people's lives. If you want to talk about a heartless B stands for
Bama.
Bad man. Bama.
Bad boy.
Bam Bam. Bad boy.
He's a bastard.
I didn't want to go that far.
He's a bastard man.
I
had to.
I didn't want to go that far.
I can't stand him.
Oh my god. I wouldn't call him that.
He's a bastard.
Oh, come on.
What? Oh, please. I've been much worse. People have called me much worse. Imagine him. He's playing with people's lives.
Well, you know what?
He's saying you'll lose all the Medicaid, all the health insurance. This guy ran on health insurance.
Well, Medicaid. It's Medicaid funding he's threatening to cut.
Right, cut
states.
Medicaid. These people's health insurance.
Yep. So I mean, and that's not fair. And it's him, the Democratic-controlled Congress, the Democrats in the Congress and the Senate are seeking to work together to try to circumvent what the states want to do with themselves. It seeks to undermine state sovereignty. So, I mean, it's not fair. It's not right. We know that about the Obama administration. We know they're sneaky. We know they're grimy. We know that they're seeking to go and do things that are completely out of an ethical standing and an ethical ground point. But in order to get what their left-wing agenda wants. But what really baffles me is the fact that Scott Walker is still funding Planned Parenthood. And here's a guy that's running on a specific position that tells us that they don't want to have, or he doesn't want to help fund and propagate and continue to go with Planned Parenthood in his state, yet he's still funding lots of it. So in my opinion, Vito, Scott Walker, is he as true and standing on what he believes in as a lot of the other candidates? I don't think so.
I mean,
honestly, I don't think so.
He was up there for me, but this does not help. I mean, not just not defunding it, but lying. Hey, he's how pro-life he is. I mean, that made the whole thing on the debate.
I know. He said, cases of abortion, in cases of rape, and the mother's health and stuff like that, he's still pro-life.
Right, he was saying that there's other ways to save the mother or what to do. So he's very pro-life. That got some heat during the debate. And to be so pro-life that you still fund Planned Parenthood, even after all these videos, everything comes out with the selling baby parts and what they're doing. I mean, not even the fact that government shouldn't be paying, the taxpayers' money shouldn't be paying for something like this. That's, but just the moral part of how they sell baby parts.
I mean,
and how pro-life you are. Isn't this a contradiction?
Well, look, we understand that Planned Parenthood in and of itself is a bizarre organization. But on the other hand, what you see is a crazy position off of a conservative who claims to be, at least. Someone that stands on the principles of whatever the pro-life agenda is. And now he's backtracking. And no matter what your position is on abortion, it shouldn't really matter. The issue here is, why is Scott Walker still funding Planned Parenthood? I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen conservatives go crazy about this on the Breitbart article. And I think, to me, that bothers me the most, because if you ever can't, which is why I really can't get behind Donald Trump 100%, because he has somebody that's flip-flopped his position 6 or 7 times. It's not fair. The whole idea of this Tea Party grassroots movement is to hold your politicians accountable, and the minute you start to let them get away with stuff like this is the minute you start to say to yourself, damn, we got a problem. We're losing that grip on Washington that the people have. We're losing what the whole idea of Declaration of Independence stands for. The idea of consent of the governed. These principles are going out the window, and we're replacing them with this pragmatic sort of, do one thing, say another. And it's not fair.
This false sense of trust.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the key point here.
They're politicians. They must be negotiating a good deal with Iran.
Right.
It can't possibly be this bad. Right. No, it is.
But because I think this is, and over a course of history, this is the problem that we've fallen into in this country, is we've abdicated away the citizens' power. We've abdicated away the people's power, the person's power, the individual's power to the group, and the group being the government. And the government being this big institution that is legitimate use of force in a society over everybody in order to push through certain agendas based on who's in office, based on who gives whose campaign donations. So we've abdicated away, we've given away this power to the government as people. And I can tell you, we're slowly losing our freedoms in this country. And I think and it's because we start to trust our politicians in these terrible ways. Planned Parenthood, this is a good indicator of something like this with Scott Walker, in my opinion, which is why I'm also not sold on the governor, because here's a guy that steps forward, says the whole reason, he's pro-life, and he gives you this whole big spiel, and he tries to win over conservatives who deeply hold these beliefs, who are deeply pro-life. And he's seeking to exploit them just to get their votes, just so that he can put himself in the White House. And frankly, Vito, it's unfair. I'm telling you, stuff like that should bother you if you support Scott Walker, and I think you should reevaluate your position.
And you wrote an article how you shouldn't support Scott Walker so much just yet.
I said there's something
on
about
the website.
Him. Well, he's flip-flopped as well, and in concurrence to that article, he's flip-flopped
Amnesty.
Amnesty and immigration. He's very shaky on that issue, and I think that is indication of, as well, and now this Planned Parenthood thing, this is an indication as well of somebody who, is he really fighting for you? I mean, come on. Is this a guy that you're going to send to the White House that's really going to follow through on his campaign promises? I mean, look, people tell us who they are, but we want them to be who we want them to be. That's a quote from Don Draper off the great series Mad Men. I encourage all of you to watch it. One of the greatest television programs of probably of all time. Because it really breaks down whole, people and characters and things like that. People tell us who they are. We know who Jeb Bush is. We know what he stands for. Donald Trump, well, that's a special case that I could dedicate a couple of shows on that.
That's a head case.
That's a head case. Ted Cruz, you know what Ted Cruz stands for. Rand Paul, you know what he stands for. You know what Mike Lee stands for. You know what a lot of these people in Washington stand for. They stand for themselves. Some stand for the Constitution. Some stand for individualism. Some stand with Rand. I don't know. Everyone stands with everybody. But people hold these beliefs, and they hold these things that they are going to fight for once they get to Washington. And I think once you see little traces of them, based on their Senate record, their congressional voting record, based on their governorship, based on their time as a state legislator, based on their time as a businessman and what they said in the past, based on past articles, past books, past whatever, past campaign donations, you start to see just who this person is about. And I think when you really start to delve into somebody's character, which I think is a very, very important trait, more important than policy positions, but their character, that's when you start to really hold politicians accountable. That's when you really start seeing change.
Right, but the average American just does not have that much time to delve in and look at campaign contribution, this and that, voting records so much. That's why the debates and the liberal media can easily exploit and change the agenda. And
True, but I think, and this is the process of elections, I think when you have other candidates out there blasting other people, or blasting, uncovering, opposition research, stuff like that, the dirty side of politics, that's sort of a good thing because you start to see what these candidates flip-flopped on. You start to see where they went wrong, and now you can start to make decisions based on a more rational approach as opposed to just what they're saying. So I think it's twofold. When you look at Governor Walker, I'll bring it back to this. When you look at Governor Walker, you got to ask yourself, do I support this guy 100% of his entirety because he stands for what he believes in? Or do I support him because, I don't know, he's walking an establishment Tea Party line? Because that's the position that I've been holding for a long time, that Scott Walker is not a true conservative in the full sense of the word, like, say, I don't know, like one of our Tea Party members or something.
Like Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz is one of them. I would put Louis Gohmert, Trey Gowdy. Mm-hmm. Those are guys that you should look up to and say, wow, that's a politician I want to be. Or even a Bernie Sanders. Policy positions are wrong, but the man is very principled and unwavering in his beliefs, and that is the character trait that I'm talking about, that I should see in more politicians. We want to see more people that are dedicated to what they believe in, not more people who are seeking to wipe out their servers. Listen, Vito, we're just about to wrap up our show here, the Vito and Vito Show. Head over to www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because this is the place to go for more truth. Because the Vito and Vito Show is bringing you nothing but the truth.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.